Good afternoon YouTube, Ian here from Coolice Charge Case and Power Supplies. Hope you're all safe and well. Got another charge case I'd like to show you. This one is using a Max 380 case and housing two ToolkitRC M8D chargers. Customer already has one of my quad Air 8 builds and fancied another charge case that was slightly different. So I did suggest the Toolkit chargers because they have been performing quite well for quite a few people now. So they're obviously a little bit more of a proven entity, and obviously in this instance he wanted to keep it smaller, so instead of going with my usual Max 430 that I've used twice in the past, I think from memory, with two of these chargers, I went for the 380. We also went slightly different on this one in that he also wanted to try my new IceMeter 2, my protection circuit for the iCharger Duos. Basically the original IceMeter, which you'll see no doubt for those that look back in my old videos. That's over 10 years old now. So we wanted to use something different. So we are now using the same CAN dice controller that I use for my rectifiers, for the CAN bus side of things on those, the LTEC rectifiers. But with a different interface power board to now communicate them with obviously the server supplies that I use generally a lot of. So we've got one for obviously your common slot and flex slot servers supplies. In this instance we're using common slot, so I've got a couple of DPS 1200s in there, and obviously it's now controlled by the unit. So without further ado, as I won't waffle on too much, let's lift it up and you'll see this one is using a vinyl wrap that is quite fetching or striking, whichever way you'd like to put it. Oh. So as you can see, we have the crushed carbon effect vinyl. I can't remember what they call this one. I think they call it laser, silver laser or something off the top of my head. And as you can see, as you change, as the light hits it, different colours appear from it, which is quite nice. It's a little bit different, a little bit more unique. First case of its kind with this kind of cover. So as you can see, it's going to look quite nice, especially in the sunshine. Roll on next summer when this is out and about and being used, because it will shine up really nicely. So I'm going to turn it on because it takes a few seconds then obviously for the protection circuit to boot up, and I want to show that if I can. So in this instance we've got the little, we've now gone to a little LCD screen here, and we have now got another option to go slightly larger on this, but this is quite nice in this case. Really nice and readable as well, which I quite like because I'm getting older now, so definitely need some glasses. So as you can see, it's starting up. It's also checking if it's got a CAN bus activated device connected to it, which obviously it hasn't. Picks up, it obviously provides its access point, then obviously realise now it's connected to a common slot, and then obviously we'll come back to the standby position. So as we can see, obviously there's no voltage coming out from either power supplies. The temperature inside the case is 16.5 degrees C, and obviously there's no current being drawn. So I need to press the little momentary push button just above it. That'll then grab it, that'll then turn blue. Here it comes. And now the chargers are up and running. Also you can hear the cooling fans in the background. My radial cooling fans doing their thing. Slightly smaller ones in this, but very, very good airflow in there, which is quite nice. In fact, you can actually hear it and I can feel it. If I covered my usual air slots at the front of the case, you can feel the air being pulled past your fingers and my hand in this instance, which is quite nice. So, as we can see, power supplies are now up and running. We've got voltage there. And of course then obviously this unit, same principle or same idea if you like with the, when used with the LTEC rectifiers, it does obviously then beam out a Wi-Fi page. So any Wi-Fi enabled device, you can either connect to it as its access point or log it onto your home office Wi-Fi and see what voltages and currents are being pulled from that. We do have obviously LED control on it as well, but I haven't explored that part of it yet. This is still a very new system to me. Like I said, as I first started the video, this is the first case using it. So it's been a very good learning process for me to obviously get used to it. So let's go back to the case. Obviously, as per normal, we've got the M8Ds in there, and obviously then chatting with the customer originally, didn't know what colour to do the outline, should I say the 3D printed parts. I suggested normally black and yellow works quite well together, and I think it does. It creates quite a nice striking contrast here, to be fair, between the bright orange parts and of course then the not unbright vinyl wrapping as well. So it looks good. We've obviously got the charge ports here recessed into the deck as before, which you know. Obviously the start stop button for the power supplies to take them out of standby mode. Then you obviously got the twin charge port, USB charge. Actually, that's a quad charge port there. Actually, switched, found another one. So obviously we've got two PD chargers and two QC3 chargers as well, which is quite handy. I do then obviously break out the USB-C port on the back of each charger up onto the deck, and I've created then a custom holder to obviously then integrate those, and also it's got the yellow flashing then around the outside, so that looks quite nice and neat. Air slots as normal for the cooling fans to exit their drawn air from. So as you can see, look quite nice. This one then of course then we've got the lid, nothing too fancy here, nice flat panel, nice opening. I nearly went for my fancy kind of like oval shaped cutout there, but there was a reason I just went with a simple rectangular one in the end, and that was because the customer requested some form of partitioning inside, so I've divided it into 3 compartments. As we can see, there's one 3D printed sectional part there and another one here, so got 3 individual compartments there. And I thought realistically you're going to want good access there to get behind it, because you've not got a lot of room to play with obviously with the depth of these cases, but you've got enough there to put some decent cabling and stuff behind it. So I went with a nice rectangular opening, which I think looks quite good, and of course then you've got the finish of the vinyl covering on top then that obviously blends in with the lower half. AC input on the back, won't show you that, that's my usual sort of setup now, just keeps the deck clear. And of course then the sides of the case as well, if the customer wants to put, you know, longer leads to charge off the side of the case, they can, which is quite nice. But that's it. Well, I'm going to end the video here. There's no point going in too far. You can see what it's capable of from here. For all your charge case needs, you know where I am. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.